So today I'm going to be talking about the Skeptic community and what's been going on with them for the past couple of years. Thought this would be an interesting little video to make, nothing too serious. I just wanted to go over my thoughts about the community as a whole. The reason I had the idea for this video is this guy named Oliver J put out a tweet and he said, "What's hilarious about this photo is that everyone here is either no longer on speaking terms with one another and or they have become irrelevant on YouTube years ago. There's only 2 or 3 people whose content I still watch. 2017 honestly feels like another lifetime ago," which is interesting to say the least. I haven't seen this picture in a long time. The last time I saw it was when Quentin Reviews said something about this community. If you don't know who Quentin Reviews is, you're probably lucky. He makes movie style reviews, but he's a bit of a tool. Not really the point, but basically these guys were titans in the skeptic community, I guess you could say. That's at least what I'm going to call them. And up front, the black guy is some black guy. Then in the back is Shoe on Head, Armoured Skeptic, MundaneMatt behind him, Spunky King, and there's Sargon. Off to the side is Chrisraygun. You can barely see him. His head's barely in the picture. But those are the guys I recognize. So those are the ones I'm going to talk about because I don't know the other 3 in the back. So let's get into it. The only people in this group who's still going are Sargon. He's running a media company with like a dozen employees now, and Shu, who barely posts videos. Everyone else just vanished into irrelevancy, largely by their own hand. It's pretty amazing to think about. You know, on some level I disagree with this. If you were to take one person that I know of out of this picture and say, oh, they're irrelevant, it would probably be some black guy, just given how big his videos used to be, and he's somewhat pivoted his content, and his analytics are just not as good as they were in 2017, 2018. That being said, he still has a pretty good fan base who's behind him. I happen to be a part of that fan base, and I have been watching him since that 2018 explosion when, you know, he was going into like those videos like people screaming in public, "Keep your hate speech off this campus." Like that was like my bread and butter, and he always filled that void for me of like, oh, who's gonna talk about this on YouTube? But anyway, while talking about some black guy, I did want to also include Chrisraygun. The reason being is that the 2 of them do a podcast together called the Snark. I think it's pretty good. I really think that the main thing that's made them irrelevant, and quote unquote, is the fact that they've pivoted away from politics. I don't think on a grand scale, especially given how well Chris's channel is doing, I don't think that he's, fallen into irrelevancy per se. I don't think that's a really accurate way of looking at it. Maybe you can think, oh, he's not as relevant in like YouTube drama, because when you say it like that, then yeah. Also, we have MundaneMatt, who had this wonderful clip.
So I have been in a not the best place mentally. And
now wait a minute, Matt! No, Matt, no.
So yeah, that's
wait,
it.
No,
Dude, wait a minute! Cut back! No!
He fucking lied to us. He
No,
lied
dude,
to
what?
Straight to our face. He lied straight to our fucking face.
for an hour.
I just like coming back to that clip every once in a while. I think it's good. And short little fun fact, actually. Actually, that's stupid, but it's not really a fun fact, really. But some black guy told Matt Jarbo that if he really thought he should, like, apologize to the people who he struck. And he really ended up hurting himself because he, like, apologized really weirdly to the YouTube community and just got ate alive. And now his channel's been wiped. There's like 5 videos on him, and he's gone back into the workforce, which may be a good or bad thing depending on who you ask. Honestly, as long as he's happy, it's whatever. He definitely made a mistake by trying to get all these people's videos taken down, but it is what it is. Now we've got Bunty King, and Bunty King, he has lost all respect in the community. Nobody really talks about him anymore, and if they do, it's to call him a cuck because he got, played, and he was cool with it, and he publicly said that he was cool with it. And when you just put yourself out there like that and just say, oh, well, I don't care about my dignity, you're bound to get made fun of. And that's what happened, and he ended up deleting his YouTube channel as far as I'm aware. I think he's changed the name of it to like his real name, Anad Verk, I think it is. And then he was just like, all right, it's done. Like, I've lost any chance at being able to exist online in a profitable sense. And that's unfortunate. I do think that he's, a bit of an idiot for admitting, yeah, I'm a cuck, guys. But at the same time, it is what it is. He reaped what he sowed. So how bad can you really feel for him? Like, it's always unfortunate that somebody loses their job, especially something that they apparently enjoy. But at the same time, he really brought it on himself. Now, we already mentioned Sargon and Shu. They're still killing it, still doing what they do. So is Armoured Skeptic. He's doing just fine. So all the people I saw, they're pretty much in the clear. At the worst one was some black guy, and he's still doing good on his podcast. But there was a controversy a while back that did end up bringing down some of the credibility in the skeptic community, and that was because of an app called Candid.
4 years ago, a lot of the YouTube community began promoting a new social media app called Candid, a service that promoted itself as a way to express your opinions online free of consequences.
Candid, the brand new social media app that allows you to share your opinions completely anonymously and debate with other anonymous users. Feminist? Candid's for you. Anti-feminist? Candid's for you. Conspiracy theorist? Candid's for you.
Candid was marketed as a free debate platform where you can express your opinions without societal consequences. This basic product message is obviously a pretty enticing offer to groups who don't like outrage culture and want to foster discussion online. Harmful decided to do an experiment where he tweeted out two statements, one being white people kill themselves and the other being black people kill themselves. The latter statement was removed from the app, while the one about being white was kept up.
I've already shown that you can say something about white people but not about black people.
Harmful also found that they were looking to remove what they called objectionable content.
Now, due to this lack of credibility, a lot of people still to this day are, down on the skeptic community. A lot of people even said that this was what made them stop liking the skeptic community. And I don't really think it's a huge community anymore because, like, Shu and Derek, some black guy, Chrisraygun, they all dislike Sargon, and then I don't think Armored Skeptic and Shu are on speaking terms, and then MundaneMatt, he barely talked to some black guy. So yeah, the community that was at least in that picture has completely fallen apart. So I'll give him that point. But other than that, I think that there's more nuance to be looked at here than, oh, well, they just fell apart. These so-called free thinkers all bunched together and then started fighting like rats over the last piece of cheese, and then the community fell apart. I think if you just overview it, then yeah, you can just simplify it as that. But if you really take a look about it, and at least like me, when you were there, watching through the years, you see like things just progress. People grow apart or they start fighting. It is what it is. Honestly, for me, it kind of sucks to see the community fall apart because this was like a big part of my, early teen years, was watching these guys. Like, I loved watching Shu. I loved watching Chrisraygun after some black guy introduced me to him. I loved watching some black guy. Like, that was like my favorite YouTuber, and he still is one of my favorites. I think that he makes really good stuff. But I'm gonna end it off here. Thank you all for watching. Back to the Snark Tank podcast that I mentioned earlier. They dropped an episode today. I'm gonna link it, so you should check it out. I think some of you who view me would watch it, but I'm going to have it on in the background as I edit this video. So I'm going to get right to that. So thank you all for watching. Goodbye.